Hi, thanks for joining the high-level database workshop recording. We'll be starting in a few minutes when the rest of the attendees are here. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so in high level then, we've got three types of contact records. Sorry, three types of records. We've got contact records, opportunity records, and custom records. Yeah, so we're going to go through them in that order. Contacts first, then the opportunities, and then the custom objects. Yeah. So starting on regular contact records, so you go to the menu on the left-hand side of your high level and you'll see contacts. Click on contacts and that brings you to the page here where you can you'll see the whole list of all your contact records. So in this test account, I've just got a few dummy records here so we can see them and play with them. Okay. Now, I'll then go into one of these records to see what a contact record looks like. So click on contact, this one here. We're now into the contact record, and it's built into three main sort of columns: column one, column two, and column three. Column one contains all your custom fields related to that contact record. So you've got the standard fields like your first name, last name, email, phone number. Yeah. But then you can also have all your you have folders effectively of custom fields to capture additional data on the contact. So it could be it could be things, it could be anything really, their favorite color, their date they became a customer. It could be text fields, date fields, number fields, currency fields, all that sort of thing. So we store that down here in these custom fields. Then at the bottom here we have we can see what tags have been applied to the contact record. So tags are like little flags that tells information about the contact. That's one way of storing data on a contact with the tag and also with custom fields. That's how we store the custom data on a contact. Does that make sense so far? Yep, yep, yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Then here, so we've got to see the tags there, and then this column we can see the automation. So this could be useful here. There's nothing to show here. This could be useful if you're troubleshooting. You can see what automated workflows a contact has been through in the past or what they're active in right now. So it's useful to sometimes you look at a contact and you need to see that information. The same with opportunities. So we'll come to opportunities in a little while, but opportunities are they're like a temporary sort of post-it note you apply to a contact for something like a sales opportunity. So a new inquiry comes in, you'd use an opportunity record to manage that sales process. We'll look at that in part two, the opportunities. But there's where it links. This is where the opportunities effectively linked to the contact record. And down here then, we've got the client portal here. So in the client portal, we can offer courses. So if you've heard of a tool like Kajabi, yeah, we can create courses in the system. We can create free courses for clients or sell courses. So we've got courses in there. You can also build your own, effectively your own Facebook groups in the system. So you might be selling a course and offer a community alongside it, where there's interaction between all the community members. Finally, in this column, we've got the important element here, the DND. So DND stands for Do Not Disturb. Yep. So if someone contacts you and wants to be opted out of email marketing, you can just tick them there like that, and they're opted out of emails or text or calls. So the system won't try and send them emails then if you mark them out as Do Not Disturb. That's the first column. Second column here now, at the top here we have what they call the conversation view. So here you can see all the activity that's gone on. You see in this one, this test here, opportunity was created, but you see all the emails. If you synchronize your email account, you'll see the emails back and forth, any texts that have been sent, any WhatsApp messages if you're using the WhatsApp app, that would all be here. Yeah. Then you've got a little window here where you can use this to send emails. So you could log into the system and send emails from here. Me personally, I don't do that. I would just use my Outlook account or my Gmail account. And just send it like regular from there and just make sure I synchronize my email account with the HighLevel user account. But it's there if you need it for some clients will use it for customer service. You know, you can have all snippets and quick responses and things like that if you need that. So that's that portion there. And the final column on the contact record, here you'll see here you can see any activity. So you see here like the day people filled in forms, what they filled in the form, um, opportunities been created, things like that. You see all the history there. Tasks as well, so we can create tasks. So we can create tasks automatically in workflows or manually. So a task to remind yourself to give a customer a call or a prospect a call, tasks there. And they appear on you see here you've got a menu up here, so you can always see your task list at the top. There's some example tasks there. Just go back to contacts. Any questions so far, guys? Are we okay? Yeah, so go back to me, contacts. I go back into just finishing off on a contact record now. So we've got tasks there, we've got notes as well. We can store notes. Again, notes can be created manually when you talk to a customer or equally as part of an automation. So maybe someone comes in as a new customer automatically after a workflow. We can add a note to the record to say on this day they became a customer. Appointments. So again, we've effectively got Calendly, our own version of Calendly built into the system. So here's where you can see all the appointments you've got with a contact, previous and into the future. You can also easily add new appointments. So this is really handy if you're talking to a customer and you want or a prospect and you want to schedule another call with them. You just quickly bring up this one, talk to them on the phone or on Zoom, and just choose, choose a day and time. Yeah. Assign it to the contact. Choose the right calendar type you want. Yeah, so it's really handy for creating appointments, not just online appointments like this Zoom call, but also in person. You can actually uh, override the default meeting location and you can put in like a physical address for a meeting. What's the calendars there? Documents here. So you can upload documents. So if you've got any contracts, you can upload Word documents, PDFs, things like that, images. In addition here, if you're using the electronic document signing in HighLevel, any sign when a contact signs a document, it'll be listed here as well as signed, and you'll be able to view it. Payments, again, this is all to do with the e-commerce side of things, which is a whole separate workshop. That's it. And then this final one here, this one here. Oh, just got someone else on the call. 1 second. Uh, Right. Yeah. So this final one here is associations, and this is where you would see links to the third type of record we have, the custom objects, which we'll come to later on. That's the basics around a contact record. Does that all sound okay, guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
you mentioned snippets. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah. So I haven't got any set up in this test account here, but if I had a phone, for instance, if I was a customer service rep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, if you're using emails here, you'd be able to bring up, where are they? Insert, yeah, you can have a whole little menu of snippets. So
Okay.
pre-formatted emails. So if you're constantly getting asked what time are your opening hours, or do you have a brochure, you'd be able to bring up a snippet here, and it's basically a pre-written email for you, or
Brilliant.
text, or WhatsApp.
Yeah. I was going to ask you on that. Just sorry, a little bit of an aside, but if you send an email from within the system, is it this, and they reply to it? Does it also go to your main email account,
Yeah,
or
as
just
long as you synchronized it, yes, yeah.
yeah, it will. So it's not going out as a separate email, sort of mailgun type email.
Yeah, so it's all synchronizing. Yes, you'll see it on your Outlook account. So do you know where to synchronize that, Steve?
Yeah,
No.
I've done that. I've done that, but I haven't been sending emails from within the system because I wasn't sure whether it would only reply to the system.
Yeah, they'll come back in both, but I prefer just to do it unless you need those snippets for like a maybe a customer service type
Well,
role.
I think the snippets are a good idea. I like that.
All right, and they're set up. Where do we set those? Hang on a sec. I think they live in marketing. Where are
Right. I'm gonna have a go at that.
snippets? You see snippets there, Steve. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you go snippets there, and you could create all your emails, your text ones are quite handy. Yeah, you've got lots of text coming in. Add a snippet,
Yeah.
a text snippet, and email snippets there. That's the way you create them.
Brilliant. Okay.
You learn something every day, eh, Steve?
Do. So I'm here.
And go back to contact records. So just finishing off here then. So that's the basics of the contact record. Okay. So then how can we sort of slice and dice and segment our database? Okay. So we come back into the main menu of contacts and we've got so the first thing you'll see here is columns. So you might have lots and lots of custom fields. So if you want to see them on the dashboard here, you can just start bringing them in like this. Yeah. And you see I'm adding more and more. There's no data in this to show you, but you get the idea that it's building up. And that's really important because when you come to it, if you ever want to export data, before you export it, always make sure you select on here the data you want to export. Yeah, that's really important. So choose the columns, export that, and then to select all the contacts, so click on here. Like, if you want to click all the contacts, click there. Now, there's only 18 records in this one, but if I had, say, 10,000 records, this would only select the first 20. Yeah, and it would then say next to here in blue, select all records of 2000 or whatever. And you click on there and it would select all 2000. So that's a way of getting hold of all your records quickly. Um, and then you've got these sort of quick action buttons, I might call them. Yeah. So for instance, if we want to take all these records and move them into a set stage in an opportunity pipeline, we can move them there. This is an important one. Add to automation. So we can take all our selected contacts and jumpstart them straight into an automation. We use that a lot, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But equally, if I wanted to send a quick email broadcast, like a MailChimp send, I could choose, let's see, send a text or send an email. That's like just doing an email broadcast. You okay, Steve? You look confused.
No, no, it's fine. No, no, it's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just me.
Yeah, so you want to select a list of people, send them a quick text, send them a quick email. You can pull in a template you've pre-written and send them like a broadcast email, a one-off email. We can add tags to these people. So we can select the whole list and tag them or remove tags. We could take those contacts and bin them. Yeah. We can select that list and send them a pre-written template. Please leave us a review email. Yeah. Important one here. Here's the buttons here where we can export the contact list. Like I mentioned before, if you want to export it there, and you can import contacts here as well. So when you're first starting off, you want to be importing your existing list of data. That's how you do it. It's a very simple process. Import contacts. Obviously, we're just importing contacts. And then click on next. You must import your contacts as a CSV file. So it's really important before you start importing contacts to clean your file up because once you import those contacts, it's a much bigger job in the future to unclean them up. If you want to delete a load of records, that aren't relevant, much better to clean all that out before you import them in the first place. You could just click on update here. I don't know if I've got a file of data I can quickly show you. Let me find there's something there. I'll try and pull those in if it'll pull in. And so as soon as you go to import a file of data, the system is looking to map the fields together. So you see here, it's automatically worked out for this file. It's first name to first name, last name to last name, and email to email. So on your data, you might have a lot more files. You might have not, sorry, not more files, uh, custom fields. You might have their text. Sorry, is there a question there? Nope. Right. So you might have a lot more custom fields in your data importing. You just have to map the fields together. Click on next. As you import that data, you can automatically add them to a workflow, to an automation, or tag them. Yeah. Just make sure you approve that you're allowed to email these people. You approve, and then just import the data, and that'll import the data. So quite a simple process, really. It's not no nothing complicated there, is there?
So, Julian,
Yep.
I've got a client who's not yet opened an account, but I'm trying to sort out all his data. He's exported largely from Sage, and we're trying to get the data in good shape on a spreadsheet. And there are some unusual kind of column headings he's got in the spreadsheet. I'm guessing I need to set up the custom fields in the CRM to match what he's going to be importing from the spreadsheet, and then it will map properly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So first of all, decide if you really need that data because you can import as much as you want in there. But if you're just importing sort of stuff you're never going to use, then what's the point of having it? But yeah. So when you start importing the data, you can't on the fly create custom fields. You'd have to create. You'd have to come out here, go to settings, and go to custom fields,
Yeah.
and just create your custom fields here. Yeah. So I'll just create one here. Test. Uh, oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Custom values is something else. The dollar because it's custom fields you should be using. You see, it has all the in custom fields. It has all the fields we already have, like first name, last name. But I'll just add here single line test. I'm going to put it on the contact record. You see here, I could also create custom fields on the opportunity record, which we'll come to in a minute, and also the company and any custom objects as well. So that normally it's a contact record. You're doing this. Select which folder you want to put them in on the dash on the record, and that'll create a custom field for you. So you can have as many custom fields as we need on the system. There's no restriction. Let's go back to contacts. So, what was I looking at then? Yeah, so importing, exporting data, email verification. So typically when you import data, there's a little extra charge for it per record, but it goes in and validates that the email is valid or as best we can, and it stops us getting high bounce rates when we start emailing the first time we start emailing that contact. That's really important when you're first importing, especially an older file of data. It'll stop you getting, if you go above 3% bounces, uh, high level will stop sending those emails for you. And they'll say, there's an issue, you got too high a bounce rate, there's an issue here. You need to switch on email verification. I tend to just switch it on as default anyway. It just stops that problem ever arising. And then we got
So
we should
sorry,
have
Julian, just to go on that. So if you've imported the data and you've got the email verification, if there is a dodgy email in there, it will flag it in the individual's record, will it?
yes, it will. Yes, yeah, it's invalid. Yeah.
And is there a way of seeing in one go all the invalid emails?
Yes, so you go to again coming to filters here. So come to filters. So that's the
Yeah.
next page is coming on. We'll come on to that in 1 second, Steve. Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got so then we can have company records in HighLevel as well. So we can associate contacts to companies. Uh, but just had I don't think Joe's turned up for the call, but just had the uh, potential client where he wants to automate the marketing based on the company record. But HighLevel doesn't work that way. It works on we're marketing to the contacts, so we can associate a contact to a company record. There's quite a manual process to update, you know. If people change companies and things, you've got to remember to remove them. Uh, if a new member of staff joins, yeah, you've got to add them manually most of the time. So I don't find the company records that useful uh, in a high level anyway. There may be other systems that do companies better, but we are contact focused here. Is that okay? As a company record, uh, bulk WhatsApp messaging. So that's like saying sending a bulk. If you're using the WhatsApp plugin, that's an extra additional add-on. And then here we're able to if you do find duplicate contacts, then we can merge them here. We can make decisions to merge duplicates. Yeah. So coming on to how we can to Steve's question, how we can slice and dice the data here. We use filters for that. And you see here we've got all these criteria. We could build up like a little what would you say recipe for a selection. So typically we'll be selecting on tags. The tag is yeah, that one. The tag is or is empty or is not. Yeah. So you can apply that. And you can say then tag is that follow up and tag is. So you start to build up a bit of sort of Boolean logic here. You know, they've got to have this tag and that tag. Yeah. Or they can have this tag or that tag. So we do it on tags. We've also got the custom fields. So coming back to your question, Steve, regarding the invalid, if you look for, see valid email here.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
here, say,
Right.
look,
Yeah.
pub list for all the ones that are invalid. Yep,
Brilliant. Yeah.
that's how you find them there. So once you've done this search, it's a little bit hidden at the moment. Because I can do that search, yeah, I'm not going to find much. But then what I can do is it's hidden by this little thing here at the moment. But I can save this as a smart list. Let's test smart list like that. So now you'll see at the top here, I've got a smart list set up. So again, that smart list dynamically updates as people are meeting the criteria and falling out of the criteria. This list will expand or decrease. So it can be useful rather if you do need to see regularly a particular type of customer or a particular type of prospect, then you can build up a little smart list here. And then you see here, so as soon as you do that, we got the smart list. Obviously, there's only one in this. By chance, there's only one there. But then you start doing stuff with them. You can start. You got these actions, these basic actions. Okay. Right. So sometimes you'll want to do more than these. This is only about 10 different actions here. Excuse me. There's only about 10 actions here. And often we'll want to be doing more, like creating opportunities, adding tags, creating tasks, etc., etc. So then then the workaround for that one is to use the automation to do the grunt work for us. So I would then create an automation, which is like a little recipe to create this opportunity, apply these two tags, create a task. I can build a little recipe to do a lot of things all at once. And with using the workflows to do that, then you've got infinite combinations to manage your database, to add, remove tags, update custom fields, clear custom fields, etc. That makes sense, Steve. You've seen that before.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've got anyone else on the call. Has everyone else gone? Oh no. It was just here on hidden from video. Right, we'll carry on, Steve.
Are they gone?
I think that some are hidden from video.
I'm here. I'm just being quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here as well.
Everyone's incognito, just you, Steve and
No,
I.
I don't know.
I'm Howard. Okay, so we'll carry on, Steve. Um, so that's pretty much covered the contact records. Is there any questions on that one?
I had a question for you as well, which I pre-noted. Adding a record had a problem with a contact coming up as the message came up as duplicate records not allowed or something. And there's obviously a setting somewhere that was preventing me from adding a second contact. Now I think it wasn't the email; it may have been the phone number because I was putting in the same company phone number and it
Yeah.
wouldn't accept it more than twice.
Yeah, there's a couple of things to watch out for that. So when you're importing data, yeah, if you're importing a field of a record where you've just got their name, yeah, if you haven't got their email address or their phone number, yeah, it won't create the contact record. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's one to watch out for. Yeah, so sometimes you might need to create a if you want to import just contacts with a name only, you're gonna have to do something like create a fake email address. So you might use name1@fake.com. Yeah, and just use a sequential numbering of because each email address has got to be unique. Yeah, or else it'll let you find Steve, it'll merge. Yeah, so if you've got to create blank, if you've got to create just records with a name in, use something like name1@fake.com, name2@fake.com. Create the records and then go through and search for. You'll be able to do a search for all the emails containing the word fake. And then you set a little automation to go to clear the email fields, so it clear out all the the fake email addresses. So then you create a contact record without any email or phone number. So that's one to watch out for. If you go to settings here, Steve, yeah,
Yeah.
and then if you go to business profile,
Yeah.
you scroll to the bottom, you'll see here. Um,
Allow
well,
duplicate.
I've got it set to not allow duplicate records.
Yeah.
And it's checking on email and phone. You don't have to use those, but you, well, I think you've got to use it. Yeah, you've got those. It's quite handy having the phone one actually, but you've got to be careful when you're testing because you might think, oh, I just test it with a different email address, but then you put your same phone number in and it knows who you are. Yeah. Also, if you look here, there are situations where it will create duplicates. Okay, so um, if you import, when you go to import contacts
Yeah.
from the CSV file, it'll dedupe them. But if you're using hang on a second, let me get this straight. It's a bit confusing this. If you allow a duplicate contacts, yeah, there's certain situations where that will apply. And I think it comes down to when you use Zapier and third-party integrations, it'll automatically not create a duplicate.
Right.
So around this duplicate contacts here, there's some subtleties to be aware of if you're doing anything like with Zapier and things.
Yeah.
Yep, just
Okay.
watch out for that. But that's where you set duplicate contacts, and see here's where you set up to verify email address when the first email is sent. Again, that's always useful. It keeps your bounces low, and it's built into the system. Yeah. Um, and you see, they're using the Facebook integration. The system will try and merge Facebook contacts by the name. Obviously, if you've got lots of Bill Smiths, yeah, that's not going to really do terribly well. But obviously, Facebook doesn't give us the email address or phone number. It's just giving us like their username. So that's what we got to go on. Okay, is that okay, Steve? Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, go back. So, unless there's any more questions about contacts, I'll move on to the opportunity records now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you see here we've got the contact records we've just been looking at. Gone through all those. Now we'll look at the opportunity records. So an opportunity record is linked to a contact record, and we use opportunity records typically, but not always, typically like for a sales process. So you can see here, I've clicked on opportunities and it's taken me straight to the pipeline here. So in this case, I'm going to manually add an opportunity record. Click on add opportunity. First of all, I've got to link it to a contact. I can either link it to a contact on the system or create a new contact. I'm just going to pull one from the system and give the opportunity a name. Doesn't have to be their name. It could be their company name or the particular product they're in or product they're interested in. And I've only got the I've only got the one sales pipeline here. You can have multiples. And I'm going to drop it as a new lead. The status open and the value of £100, say. You'll see here, I've got tags as well. So don't forget, when we set up the custom fields, Steve, yeah? We can
Yeah.
also have custom fields on the opportunity record. Yeah, I'll show you that now. Create that. So I'll create the opportunity record, which has been linked to a contact. Refresh that. There we go. So now I've got an opportunity record for this one linked to so I click on here, you'll see the contact it's linked to. There's a primary contact. If I go back to this record in a minute, you'll see the contact, the opportunity record linked. And obviously, we're then able to manage the sales process in a logical manner. Again, that's a whole other workshop, but that's the idea. There's the opportunity record there. Okay, so once we've got the opportunity records, we go back to the contacts. I'll show you now. I'll show you how they're linked together. Go to opportunities down here. You can see this contact's got an opportunity in the maybe in the future stage. And
Yeah.
use this little icon and click through to the opportunity record again. That's it there. So again, coming back to contacts, if I want to find all the opportunities in the maybe in the future, I can go back up here, go to smart lists. Just get rid of that. It's like someone testing there. If I do more filters, I can then find all the opportunities by looking here. Pipeline stage is I've only got one pipeline to worry about today, and then maybe in the future. And I knew that was on there, so let me just close that down. 1 second. Yep. So I did that quick search. I was able to pull up a list of all the opportunities, contacts that've got an opportunity in the maybe in the future. That makes sense, Steve.
Yeah. Can you filter if you've got multiple users? Can you filter the each individual's pipeline when you're on the opportunities
Oh,
view?
go to opportunity. Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, you should do it here. Yeah, you got the advanced filters here.
Oh yeah.
So status is
Open,
um,
and then you could say go by
owner.
user or something. No.
Owner, the signed owner.
Yeah.
There's only one on this one here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll just find it. Yeah. Great.
Yes, you got all those choices there. Yeah. Manage fields on the opportunity record. So now, what have I done with the opportunity? But I was one thing that can confuse you is when you change the filters, suddenly where have they gone? Yeah, it's because I've set up the filter here. Yeah, if I save that, I'm back again now. Yeah. So one thing to be aware of when you're using the opportunity records and the filters is by default, it's only showing you the live ones you're working. Yeah. Because as soon as I move this to one, it said move it to the bottom here, it goes to one like so. Yeah, it disappears off the view, which makes sense really. It's a done deal. It's no need in cluttering the workspace. But I want to see those. I can find them easily by going to advanced filters. And rather than just showing the open live opportunities, I can show them one ones like that. And then it brings back, there's a test one there again. It brings back the last stage they're in before they move to one. So sometimes it can be really confusing when you've got a filter set up or you just search here like here. Yeah, and you're wondering where have all the opportunities gone because they are there. They're just not visible in that particular view you've got open.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that okay for there?
Yep.
And just to show you as well, you look at you've got to store custom data on the opportunity. Yeah, custom fields. It's just straightforward going into settings, going to custom fields. And I'm going to create a date picker. Uh, So stuff like this, new client date. And rather than put it on the contact record, put it on the opportunity record. So that then, if I go back to the sales pipeline now, you'll see on here, if I click on here, I've got another custom field. And I can store dates in there as well, like that. So that can be useful sometimes.
Yeah.
That's that one. So I think I've covered the opportunity records there. Is that okay, Steve?
Yep.
Then you're the only guy visible at the moment. And then the final one is the custom objects. Yeah. So again, this is like we talked about last time, Steve. This is getting quite advanced now. Uh, it's still an evolving tool, this one. So I've not used it myself yet because it lacks certain things that I need, namely to be able to trigger events on dates, which it doesn't quite have yet. So, but it's on its way. But the point here is, you see here, so I've got my contact records, opportunity record, and I've got another one called pets. Yeah. Now that could be anything I wanted. I just called it pets for demonstration purposes. But if I wanted to record as a separate record contacts, pets, names, or things like that, then I could do that and start to link the contact record to the pet record. So you click on pets there like that, you see here. So you see here, I've got a pet called Rocky, date of birth, any notes, etc. So again, you can add custom fields here again. But here we're storing data on the pet, and this record can then be linked to the contact record. Yeah.
It's basically an association, really, isn't it?
Yes, this association. Yeah, yeah. So for me, I've not used it yet because I say the main automation I'd want to be doing would be around the dates here, for instance.
Yeah.
So when it's 2 days before or the day of the pet's birthday, being able to send the contact an email would be nice, or trigger something based off of that date. But that automation isn't in the system yet, so until that's there, it's a bit lacking for me.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure Rocky would appreciate the email.
but yeah, you can start to create. I mean, on my main account, I've got it where I've got, in addition to pets, you might have like different vets treating the pet. You know, if you're a veterinary surgeon, you might have different vets that treat pets. You might have different practice locations. All that can be tied together, and, like you say, associations,
Yeah.
and create automation around of that.
Yeah.
That's when that's fully built out, that'll be really powerful. That.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Very
you,
good.
so you set up the custom objects by going to settings. And you'll see here, it's called objects now. So click on objects, and that's where you'll see here. When I click on there, it goes through. What am I doing wrong there? Okay, here you see where you can add custom fields to the objects here by going to a single line. Next. So rather than adding it to the contact record, I can add it to the pet record here. So I can add another field, um, whatever I want to store on it. Yeah. So that's pretty much me done there, guys. If are there any more questions?
That's it. I've got
We'll
to
go
take a
for-
call quickly.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Uh,
Lionel?
uh, can you mute
Yeah,
yourself,
good.
Steve? Yeah.
I have a question. This is Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
I'm sorry. Is it okay to ask my question now?
Yeah, fire away, fire away. Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember in Keep that it would tell us that our newsletter needs to get cleaned up because a certain number of people the email didn't reach and things like that. Is there a way like we had in Keep for us to clean up our newsletter lists and keep them um, so it's actually going to a person that's still there in the job? Do you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to work it out. So when you say clean it up, how do you mean clean it up, Sheila? How do?
Yeah, you remember the keep, is it keep that we used to use?
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember their language, but they would, like when I would send a newsletter, it would tell me things like, oh, 88% went through to somebody and 12% are dead. And I'm not using the right words,
Oh,
but
right.
it would tell me which ones really are not email addresses anymore that are being used. And it would tell me if you don't clean this up, you're going to start to run into trouble with Google because you're a spammer. And I just don't know how that same functionality works in Go High Level.
Oh, it's okay, yeah. So what we've got here, we've got the email validations for starters, yeah. So Keep didn't have any email validation, so they would say they would report and say, oh, these ones are bounced, these ones are invalid, yeah. And then it's our job to do something about it, yeah. Uh,
Yes.
what we've got here, if you go to settings here, like I showed Steve, if you go to business profile, yeah. Uh, Typically by default, we've got it switched on. Verify the email address.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a bouncy email address or non-existent email address, the system does its utmost to check that email's valid.
Right?
Okay, so what would happen with Keep is they'd say you've got a problem, you need to clean your list. Yeah, they'd say we're not going to let you send any more emails until you clean it up. You would
Yes.
export all your data. Yeah, you can import it into one of these tools, like I think one's called Unbounce and things. Yeah, and then they would do this process for you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you then clean it up. You get an extra. You get some CSV files coming back at you from them, and they say these ones have been cleaned up. You don't have to import them into Keep and tag them and what have you and do it. Whereas here, we just enable this here, and it does it for us. Yeah. So behind there's a small charge for that, but behind the scenes, with HighLevel, we're using a tool called Mailgun to send our emails. Now, if you go to Mailgun, you can do this all in Mailgun, this verification, but it's like 60% cheaper just to have this in HighLevel. Just by so Mailgun is still doing the same job for us, but it's the cheapest way of doing it, yeah. So that's just checking. That's checking for all the bounce ones, the invalid ones. Yeah.
Okay, but that's doing it, it says for the first email that's sent to a new
And
contact.
I think it does. I think it does it every 90 days. Yeah, every 90 days as well. That used to be.
Where does it say that?
Yeah, it used to be every 90 days.
Because right there it says verify email address when first email is sent to a new contact.
Let me check that because you can have it run in the background. Let me come back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what Keep was doing is, initially, usually the email is fine.
Yeah.
But then they changed jobs and they don't use that email address anymore. And that's the kind of thing it
Yeah.
was identifying.
Well, the only way it's going to identify that is if their email service says, "Oh, this person no longer exists,"
Hmm.
and then they come back to us. Which
Well, it's flagging it because it's dead ending. There's different, I don't remember the language,
yeah
but there's different ways that it dead ends, and it would give you that language. So is what you're, because I have that already set,
yeah
and I didn't know that that's what it meant,
yeah.
that it was the first email. So, is what
Well,
you're saying that I should turn that on and periodically do what you showed earlier, which is go into contacts and look up invalid emails? Is that what
yes,
I should do?
you can find those ones. Yeah, you can look at the invalid emails. Also, when you do an email send, let me switch to my account. I'll show you here. Yeah, when you do an email send. So I don't use the sort of email broadcast, the email campaign functionality. I just do it through the automation and call it turbocharged broadcasts. When I find it, hang on. And you get reporting here as well. Turbocharged. So I sent one out the other day. Where is it? Here. So I'm just using this workflow to send a simple email campaign. Yeah, it's just sending two emails. I click on this email here. I go to stats here. So you see there. So then I get the bounce and the unsubscribes there as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I click on those ones like that. And those ones. I can export those. So unlike Keep, with Keep I'd be able to highlight all those and do something with them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have that functionality in HighLevel, but what we can do, it's a little bit more long-winded. Yeah, we can export those records like that, export them, export the full content records, and then I could import them again and do an update while I'm importing them. I could update them to tag them to say delete them. Does that make sense? If I wanted to delete them.
You're saying you want to delete them.
If I whatever I wanted to do, these four people have unsubscribed. Yeah, I mean the easiest way is click on the content record like that.
How did you get this turbocharged thing? I
Oh,
didn't understand what that was.
see here, Sheila. Look at this one here. Yeah, the email has been verified,
Yeah.
but because he's opted out, see he's opted out automatically.
Mm-hmm.
So by unsubscribing, he's opted themselves out. So I could select them on. I'll pull out a list of all the people that have marked do not disturb as emailers do not disturb. I can pull that list out and manage them that way. Yeah. So all I was showing you before, Sheila, was you go to automation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've just created a folder and call it turbocharged broadcasts. It's just a folder. See a folder?
Mm-hmm.
Create a folder, call it turbocharged broadcasts, and then see I've got these tests I'm always doing. So that's just a folder.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are like my email broadcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So rather than you doing an email campaign, in HighLevel, it's called an email campaign.
Mm-hmm.
That's just sending one email. That's an email broadcast. It's send one email. Yeah. I prefer to keep it all in the workflows. And even though it's just a one-off email, like this one here, I might say, oh, in addition to that first email, I want to send a reminder. So my single email now becomes a two email little mini campaign.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm doing here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a different way of sending emails. I send all mine through the workflows. So they're all grouped together rather than using I should show you the other way in case you don't remember. You know, the other way to send emails is I can go to say contact, I can go to marketing, not marketing, emails. So there's where all your email templates live. Yeah, there's where your templates all live.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as you're building template emails, make sure you put them in folders. Yeah, maybe each folder is based on a particular workflow or a theme, because otherwise, before long, you'll have 500 templates in here. Yeah, and you'll be forever looking for them. Much better to organize it in folders. Yeah, that's your email templates. But what they say, what HighLevel call a campaign is a one-off email broadcast. That's all it is. I've got some here, you see here.
Okay. So when I send a campaign, can I tell it to verify all the emails before it sends?
Uh, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that from the campaign. No, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think you could do it for the automation. Let's try the automation. Good question. Now. I've not come across this one. Hang on, let me check.
So because that verify only works the first email, I know I notice on the contact record, it asks me, do I want to re-verify? And so it just gives me the impression, because it's a one-time thing,
Right.
that before I send like a newsletter to a couple thousand people, I should probably verify again before sending.
Yeah. Let me find the settings 'cause it must be somewhere still where every 90 days it just does a check.
And then what I'm wondering, okay, so I verified, then how do I know which ones it went to and who didn't it go to? I don't understand how newsletters work at all. I mean, I know I use a tag, I put a tag, but I don't understand how data is getting cleaned and kept clean. I just don't understand how this works.
Yeah, so we've got the email verification. So I mean, I'll come back to you, but I'll send you an email. I'll include in the email afterwards about the 90 days. You used to say every 90 days. Let me come back to you on that. So it's checking them, and then you get the reports off each email send as well. So when we saw the ones that unsubscribed and the ones that weren't delivered, so you can get those reports there and see the data. So you could do
Okay.
if
Yep.
if people are unsubscribing, they'll be marked as do not disturb. We can also put extra rules in there if you wish. If an email bounces,
So in other words, what I think you're saying is it doesn't matter if I keep them on the newsletter list because the system is screening them out.
yes, yeah, yep.
And so my newsletter list is a little bit artificially high, is what you're saying, because some people have been cleaned off by the system.
Yeah, I think that's always the case. Yeah, if you want to start clean, but you can see that from your stats as well. If you go to your stats, you see how many were sent. Like I showed you here. If we go to my automation here again, um, look at one of mine here. Back to that one again. Any one of these, yeah. You see the results here. You can manage it from there if you need to.
Right. Okay, so yeah, if you can let me know, does that verified repeat every 90 days, or if not, how do I repeat the verify?
Yeah, and you can, we sort of start here. If you go to contacts, yeah, contacts. So you can select all so you can select the whole list, and then
Okay.
here, where is it? Email verification. That'll
Okay.
that'll check that'll check them as a batch.
Okay.
So you can verify it to an individual contact record. You can do that. Uh, there's instances where you might want to do that. For instance, is where say someone gives you a new email address for them. Yeah. So you might go in and manually update that record and then click on to verify the email just to check you've got the right email. But
Okay.
otherwise, you can do batches of them here through here. Yeah. Email.
Good. It's making more sense. Thank you. I'm sorry I was slow.
No, that's okay. Yeah. Any more questions on it, Sheila, and on the data side of things?
No, and that's why I came to the webinar because I wanted to understand that better.
I say one of the things that took me a while to get my head around was say you've only just to finish up here. You've only got so many options here.
Yep.
With keep, yeah, we have the magic. I used to call it the magic actions button. You can bring up a
Mhm.
list of data like this, just like there. You'd have an actions button, and there's about 40 different things you could do.
Right.
Yeah. Here, we've only got these few like add a tag, remove a tag, bin them, etc. But where the magic happens is where you do this, you go to automation. Again, create another folder in the automation. Have I got one here set up here to show you? Yeah, but it'd be the folder called maybe temporary workflows, and it's the temporary workflow you set up for a one-time use. Yeah, it might be to apply 10 tags, update three custom fields, add tasks. Oh, you're on mute there, Sheila. Yeah. You might set up a little mini recipe here to add free tags, update custom fields, clear them, add opportunities, and you can build a little recipe in the automation here to do all your data work in one hit. So when you use the automation here, You've got infinite combinations of managing your data, which is really powerful when you get into it. A little bit more long-winded, but really powerful.
Okay, thank you. It sounds like I need to learn more about automations.
We've got a workshop for
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Julian.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
we've just done the hour unbelievably already. So, has anyone else got any more questions or forever hold your peace? So just to round up then, so we're not doing a workshop next week because Atticus and I are in Texas for the high level summit. So we're back again on the 21st of October with forms, quizzes, and surveys workshop. So we'll be sending emails about that. So if you want to attend that, we look forward to seeing you there. So thanks for making it, everyone who's still with me. So we'll catch you again next time. If anyone's got any questions, there'll be a QR code appearing shortly, and you can click on there, book a discovery call with us. We can have a chat. Also, you can book on to the next workshop from there. Okay, I think everyone's gone now, so I'll call it a day. Thank you.